Love the gold shirt, the gold standard. African people, when are we going to wake up? Oh, there it goes. Yeah. When are we going to wake up? We have to get ourselves to a point where, you know, get that thing taken care of. Sorry about that. Wardrobe. Wardrobe. All right. There it is. Good looking. Taibu Mu'addib. Mornings with Mu'addib this morning, man. Today we're going to talk about waking up. Are we woke as a people? As you can see behind me, we got the young European boy handcuffed. These are toddlers. These are toddlers. That's how early they're teaching their young to brutalize, over police, view us as criminals. It's the craziest thing. Are we gonna wake up? This picture isn't from 1960. You can tell that was almost yesterday. All right. We have to come together as a society and decide it's time to move forward. If we don't, a lot of people who are innocent are going to continue to be hurt. A lot of families tore up. It's just going to be bad, And then you have the response. You have the reverse situation where now you're looking at each other across the aisle and you're saying, "I don't like you." Why? Why teach these innocent little kids this type of nonsense? It doesn't make any sense to me. Black History Month should kick off with us thinking about waking up. In 2024, why wouldn't we? As a certified goal achievement coach and a thought leader, I want to make you guys and gals think about this. If you have children, young children, school-age children, what if this is happening to them right now, unbeknownst to you? Because you sit on the sidelines and don't speak on it because you're afraid to speak on it or don't want to talk about it. All right. What if that's what's happening? So I brought this show out just to, it's tough for me. I grew up in the 80s and, I can remember watching a show, there were the teacher for some reason put on a movie about, indigenous Africa, right? And not like back in the days, just like, current, recent. You had UNICEF back in my day where it was like all about helping hunger in Africa and things of that nature. It's a ravaged country. All you see as a young African man, I can honestly say in public schools in Madison, Wisconsin, I never saw the African king and queen. I had to move actually to Pittsburgh to finally see, Black Jesus pictures and things of that nature, So if you're out there in the outskirts and you're not around a lot of African people, Black people, if you will, and they're putting things out there so that you see images of yourself in a positive light, the Europeans are going to inundate any Black person in America with images that you're nothing, right? That you're the bottom of the barrel. You're a second-class citizen. It's institutional how they do it, right? Just right here like this. I mean, where else but a public school or daycare, wherever they're at, could this be accepted? Right? This obviously isn't happening in the church. Where else but in a European dominated controlled environment? So with integration, what we got is this. This is what we got for giving up opportunities to have our own schools and to educate our own children. This is what we got. Look at it. You see it? So assimilationists, and then you look at this right here and you look at all the swirly couples out there, the swirly babies. You look at all this, white men, Black women couples you see on TV, you see being pushed in social media and on commercials for certain products. Look at this right here. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not choosing sides one way or another. I'm not saying white's wrong and black is good and black is wrong, white is good. I'm not saying that. I'm saying whoever orchestrated this, get them out of there. Now, we allow this to happen because we as parents aren't going up to the school and checking on our children. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can be dating or married to someone and those not be your biological kids, and you can see that person really not really getting involved in the school. I'm going to tell you something right now. Each of my children know. Each and every one of them. with the exception of one, because when I was trying to do it, it was like COVID, or it was like, situations where, schools had to keep, people out. So when I was trying to so one of my children, he hasn't really felt, dad come to school day, dad just pop up on me day. My other three children, yeah, they know what it's like for dad to pop up in the classroom, right, and see what's going on. And not enough parents are, because if her parent popped in on this particular day when this teacher had this young European boy handcuffing her and fingerprinting her, let me go over there to Taibu Mu'addib. I'm sorry, I got to get this in. I don't like typing while I'm talking, but if you don't know my page by now, I podcast live primarily and do my picture-in-picture screen shares over on YouTube. That's where I want you guys and gals to go subscribe, right? Definitely be a live subscriber over here on TikTok. We'll work out a little bit later today. I'll give you some more tips and advice as a coach, a life coach, to move you forward and progress you with your goals. But this is where I'm doing my thing. So like and subscribe. Taibu Mu'addib 4019. Let's go. But let me get to the screen share. So what you have when you have the whole black-white phenomena, and it starts like this. I mean, we look at police brutality, George Floyd, you know what I'm saying? Just all the different types of situations, and you're kind of shocked. I mean, if you don't understand where it starts, you're legitimately shocked. You can't tell me that you're not shocked when you see those things. Anybody, right? You just can't. It's just the craziest thing, right? So I'm gonna give y'all two today over here on YouTube. All right, I'm gonna give y'all two of these today. I'm gonna screenshot the first one. You guys come over here and check it out on YouTube to see the whole full deal. You see the TikTok post behind me, so you can pull it up on your own if you want to. Let me go ahead and get this cracking for you guys and gals. But what I want you to know is, when you look at all the chokeholds and all the unarmed police shootings and stuff like that, and you realize this is where it's starting at in our public schools. The public school system is teaching young white men to hate black women and shoot at them and kill them and handcuff them, and that they're all criminals and that they're all wrong. This is where the fear starts. When these cops say that they're afraid for their life, this is where the fear starts. We pay our taxes just like everybody else, but in our schools, this is what's happening. Come on, African people, wake up. And all to my fellow European American citizens, let this podcast right here forever burn in your minds. This is not okay. Dressing up police brutality at the toddler level is not okay. It's all I see right here. Handcuffing and fingerprinting. Oh my goodness. Let's go.
Toddler was handcuffed and fingerprinted by a white peer in a Florida preschool. The arrest was part of a Rosa Parks reenactment, supposedly teaching the kids about how the activist refused to give up her seat. A black toddler was handcuffed and fingerprinted by a white peer in a Florida preschool. The arrest was part of a Rosa Parks reenactment, supposedly teaching the kids about how the activist refused.
So I think that civil rights activism is a little bit beyond the toddler understanding level of social interaction. That for one. That's how you understand the Machiavellian right intent for this Florida preschool teacher. African people, they're teaching theirs this young to hate you, to brutalize you, to treat you like an animal. You don't handcuff a human being illegally. That's cuffs and chains. That's what you place on animals to direct and guide them. So the whole black people as animals thing, this is how young they're teaching their own. And so African people, what's the response? What's your response? You guys can, continue to hit the like button. You guys can, can chime in, let me know what you think. What's your response to this? I just see joins. I don't see anybody, commenting on the picture behind me. Is this okay? That's the problem. The problem is that y'all just looking and y'all not. I'm saying, wake up. If I jump into a live and I see this, I'm gonna make a comment. Y'all ain't even commenting. You know what I'm saying? TikTok is watered down for real. It's crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and stop screen sharing this. I have another one for you guys and gals. I do. I always double down on my topics. All right. So this one is about a particular principle. All right. All right. So the TikTok reads, white male principal at Pikesville High School in Maryland says ungrateful black kids can't test out of a paper bag. Now, we can go over real quick and just look it up ourselves and look at the story. Pikesville, Maryland principal. Because I want to see. I didn't get a chance to dig that deep into it. I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and check this out. All right. So yeah, we're gonna try to pull this up so I can screen share it so you guys can get a good idea of what we're looking at. All right. Pikesville, Maryland. And if you guys have a different device, I say go ahead. If you're not gonna come over here and yep, Pikesville High School principal. All right. So, investigation into alleged racist anti-Semitic rant by Pikesville principal still ongoing, district superintendent says. So, I'm going to play the TikTok and screen share the TikTok about it first. We'll listen to his voice, and then we'll go to the news story. But I'm saying, from preschool to high school, this is what's happening in our public schools. This is where our tax dollars are going. They're going into Europeans teaching their young all the way through to hate African people, to view us as animals, to be prepared to brutalize us or take our lives. It's the craziest thing. But this is what's actually happened. Oops. Share the wrong thing. Share the wrong thing. I don't want to share that yet. Let me share something else. And we should kick off Black History Month by taking this seriously and waking up. All right. You guys want to come on and join and discuss it? You guys see the picture, a young European toddler handcuffing a young sister, handcuffing in preschool. So when you guys join, hit the like button and then go ahead and make your comments. I want to know what y'all thoughts are so I can respond to them. I can see you guys join. It's the craziest thing. Nobody said anything. It's nuts. Mornings with Mu'addib, though. I'm gonna continue. Let's go and see what this person has to say. Let's go.
Don't understand why I have to constantly put up with these dumbasses here every day.
Something tells me that you will.
I seriously don't understand why I have to constantly put up with these dumbasses here every day.
Something tells me.
So he's caught on a hot mic saying, I don't understand why I have to put up with these dumb bleeps every day. Okay. The voice on the recording is alleged to be that of Pikesville High School's principal, Eric Isworth, making racist and anti-Semitic comments about students and members of the community. Why would he do this? Anybody want to give a guess why he would do it? Does anybody want to give a guess as to why this principal would make statements like that? Anybody? Come on, don't be silent. Don't be quiet. I told y'all you wouldn't believe this podcast. What it says, you won't believe this podcast. All right. So CBS News. let's check the CBS News. Let's give CBS News the opportunity to cover this story for us. We're sharing it live. Let's go. Sharing it live. Investigation. All right. Let's go. Let's see what it gives us. It's not giving us much.
Baltimore County Schools continues to investigate an audio recording containing racist and anti-Semitic comments alleged to be made by the principal of Pikesville High School. Hello, everybody. I'm Denise Koch.
And I'm Vic Carter. Welcome to those of you watching on CBS News Baltimore and on WJC TV. Well, this is a story the WJC has been covering for weeks. Today, the superintendent of Baltimore County Schools provided an update about the investigation and the status of the principal.
So WJC is live at 4 o'clock. Our Jessica Albert on your corner at Pikesville High with what Superintendent Rogers
So
had to
this
say.
story broke, made the news. They got a reporter out there on the grounds. They show cops out there. This is why he made those statements. This was probably him in his preschool. African people, did we not know we were sending our children into this situation to learn that we're less than, to be systemically treated in a culturally biased manner? Now, remember, there's no such thing as different races when it comes to human beings. That's a word that Europeans invented to make us sound like we're different because our appearances are somewhat different. Because some of us have melanated skin and some of us don't have much pigmentation. They want you to believe we're different. So when you hear of master race and master Aryan race, it's the ridiculousness. Cultural bias can be just as systemic and definitely just as damaging, though. We definitely have two different cultures, because I'm not having my young kids handcuff little European kids. I'm not teaching them that European kids are animals or cave dwellers or whatever I've heard said about, Europeans in the past. I'm not teaching them to hate them on sight, to fear them on sight, to view them as crooks and criminals and rapists and thieves and murderers, even though European history tells us this is who they really are. Deep on the inside, perverts, child molesters, sexual assaultists, and rapists. This is their thing. The only difference is, as the majority and the controlling powers, they are rarely ever held accountable for it. And because they are in power and control the media, they get to do what? Point the finger and say who amongst our society is the people that's responsible for these dastardly deeds. Not so. In this situation, we have the young man right here, we see right here, turned into this principal we're listening to right here. Take it away, channel CBS Baltimore News.
Jessica.
Well, Denise, the superintendent gave brief remarks this morning, but she tells us that two administrators have stepped in to help out with running the school since this recording has been released, but she stopped short on saying whether or not the principal is on leave pending this investigation.
It's been almost 2 weeks since a disturbing audio recording posted to social media rocked the Pikesville High School community. The voice on the recording is alleged to be that of Pikesville High School principal Eric Eiswert, making racist and anti-Semitic comments about students and members of the community.
I want to first speak very briefly about the ongoing investigation.
Tuesday morning, Baltimore County School Superintendent Dr. Mir.
So the superintendent is a sister, right? African woman. So she's coming up here and she wants to, placate the African community. And this is why I say wake up. So the Europeans have found it more convenient to send one of us to keep us cool. This is Taibu Mu'addib, and I'm reporting that we're looking into it. There's been an investigation done. We will not stop until all children are treated equally and we're safe. And because I say it, what do y'all do? Oh, yeah, you know, fam, he going to get on top of it. He going to get down on young blood. He going to make sure that fam, you know, gets what's coming to him. They ain't never going to be over kids. But that's not what happens, is it? That's not what happens. 2 weeks ago was January 2024. Not 1924, 2024. When the 2020s, 100 years later, and in public schools, integrated schools, it's just, when the schools were segregated, thank you very much, Joanna. Yes, it's definitely wrong. There, finally, we finally get it right. There, okay, there it is. Yep. Someone finally comments on it. That's what I'm talking about, Joanna. That's what I'm talking about. Get at them. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow her. It's definitely wrong. Why is it all the brothers that came through here and joined? It's the sisters that speak up. That's why I'm tired of being a black man. I'm talking about. It's tough for me to be a black man in the community. Look, fam joined, Dante, all these brothers that joined. It took a sister to stand up and say it's wrong. I don't know. TikTok, y'all vexing me this morning. It's definitely wrong. So, okay. So let's look and see how long Eric, what's his name? Wisehart or whatever his name is. Let's look and see. See if they give his name. I don't see his name. Pikesville principal. Has been an educator. Because I want to know how many students he subjected to this. In public schools. All right. I want to know. Eisworth has worked for Baltimore County Schools since 1997. Can you imagine the number of lives he's damaged? Right? What comes to mind to me is Malcolm X, you know, Spike Lee's version, where the European teachers telling little Malcolm, you don't want to be a lawyer. You want to be a carpenter. You work good with your hands, don't you? And this is why we have to wake up. So parents, I don't care what district you are in. If you have a black baby or a swirly black baby, because that's black enough, ask Trayvon Martin parents. I'm telling you right now. One drop is black enough. The bottom line is, if you don't understand that the government is not going to protect your children in public schools, they can't. Look, preschool, high school, preschool, high school. It has to be us. It has to be the parents. It has to be the black community standing up saying, we're not going to accept this anywhere. This is what they would do for their own. It's high time we do it for ours. Right? And you heard the lady say that when the woman spoke about it, the sister spoke about this European that was making these comments. She stopped short of saying he'd be suspended. He'd been traumatizing, obviously, black and Jewish kids since 1997. But he was taught to do it. Somebody taught him to do it. You see, he was taught to do it. I can only imagine. I got lucky. I left Wisconsin and I graduated high school in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is where the first black newspaper started, the Pittsburgh Courier. If many of you didn't know this, the history of the city. So I was always going to when I got there, it was like I had never heard of a black national anthem until I arrived in Pittsburgh. Didn't even know about it. My parents didn't tell me about it. They didn't sing it to me. I can't make this up. Yeah. So Joanna, so the TikTok, the ladies on there, you can see her face, the picture. I can look on there and check it out for you. I can, inbox me. I'll try to send you the link. You can try to do your own research into it. But, you could probably search like I am, Florida, preschooler handcuffed in Florida. You know what I'm saying? You could probably just look it up yourself. But I'm telling you right now, this is happening. This is all now stuff. I want the African people and my European counterparts to ask ourselves, what are we doing? This little boy, I got to cuff a black person today. You know what I'm saying? What did you do about that? If Europeans aren't raising ruckus about this type of stuff, then are they part of the problem or the solution? Well, I don't see nothing wrong with the Rosa Parks demonstration, even if they're that young. But I don't see nothing wrong with handcuff that bitch. I'm talking about this is what we're dealing with. Handcuff that animal. That's why it's continuing. We're not discussing these things. They're serious. All right. Eisworth has worked for Baltimore County Schools since 1997. I was still in college back then. This is over 25 years at least of being a racist in a position of power to put down, to ruin lives, to affect futures. The craziest thing. Let's listen to what the black woman is saying to the black community about this white man's racist rant at a public school.
Miriam Rogers gave an update on the ongoing investigation into where the recording came from.
When we're able to provide details without compromising the progress of the investigation, we will.
She says 2 administrators have been called in to help assist staff at the school. But when asked if Eisworth was on leave, she wouldn't give a direct answer.
I'm not going to comment. You can refer back to my last statement in terms of the steps that we took with the principal.
WJZ.
I'm not going to comment. So there's no rush to judgment against the European for alleged wrongdoing. But it sure happens to us, doesn't it? Not even by a sister who is his boss. She won't even rush to judge. She won't even get him out the way, sequester him, interrogate him. We're not going to suspend him until we have our investigation is complete and final. He's been a racist his whole life. The whole time he's worked there, it shouldn't be hard to find a secretary or somebody to say, yeah, he was calling them niggers and spicks and Jews a long time ago. It shouldn't take long for them to get to the bottom of that. It's crazy. But this is where it starts, people. So to start Black History Month, just when I grew up and it was Black History Month, it was awkward, wasn't it? They would put up pictures in the classroom of people you didn't know, talk about them for a couple of minutes, then get back to the systemic racism of teaching you that you're nothing and you're down. Just shoot it to y'all straight, man. It's what it is. I'm telling you right now. So she didn't say if he was fired or not, spinning or not. It's the craziest thing.
He has been trying to find out where the recording came from. Shortly after it was released, we went to Eisworth's home for comment.
Hi, I'm looking for Principal Eisworth. He's not home right now.
A person spoke to us through the front door.
We'd like to know, his background, I guess, because...
I mean, I'm here to hear his story.
Yeah, but nobody's going to believe his story anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
There's also been speculation that the recording was generated using AI, so WJZ contacted an expert to see if that was the case. He told us in this day and age, it's easy to fabricate recordings like this one using simple tools found on the internet, so it's hard to know if the recording is legit.
I think before we say it's real.
So the black woman superintendent is not rushing to judgment, but the white community is rushing to his aid. Oh, AI could have generated his voice saying those things. Who has time for that? Who really has time for that? So I don't know what's going on TikTok. They talking that I can't be real on Black History Month. I don't know what's going on. So if I'm already being flagged, I'm seeing the warning sign come up. So let me fall back. But this is why I'm over here on YouTube. So make sure y'all follow me on YouTube to see the raw real. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and put my name on YouTube. It's my name that you guys see above. So you can definitely go there. You want to go there directly, just go on YouTube at Taibu Mu'addib 4019 to see the whole deal. I don't want to get flagged and shut down and all that stuff on TikTok. So I'm gonna go ahead and chime off here. Y'all going to come over here and check me out because TikTok, and this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying right here. Even the platforms don't allow us to be us. Signing off. But before I go, Sub Only Live, Taibu Mu'addib, Mornings with Mu'addib, 8:05 a.m. weekdays. I'm giving you guys the we should wake up episode right here at Mornings with Mu'addib, putting out here toddlers, handcuffing toddlers in Florida. It's crazy. And then in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, we have principals going on culturally biased rants against us and others that aren't them, right? So then we have Hani Fareed, jumping in there like, oh, it could have been made up. AI could have generated his voice. And get out of here, man. Nobody buying that. Nobody buying that. It's the craziest thing.
And have with serious consequences if it's real, of course. We need more information.
Dr. Rogers says there is no.
You know what this reminds me of? Saying that they need more information to really do something to this principal, or to really when I say do something, I mean like to punish him, right? Let's talk about it. For them to need more information to punish him is like, remember how after George Floyd, the police officer, now ex-police officer that murdered that man, that unalived him, I guess, whatever I want to say, that took that man's life. He got to go home, have dinner, call his homeboys up, watch NCAA basketball. Like it didn't bother him, like nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're experiencing with this situation right here. You're re-traumatizing the community. Now, he didn't commit a crime, but he definitely shouldn't be allowed on school grounds at all. He definitely should be cut from the no, he shouldn't be getting paid. None of that. It should be fired. Immediate fire. Right? Because you can always give the job back if he's wrong. I mean, look at how many wrongfully convicted people that have just been let out. Oh, we're sorry. So you fire him, you take immediate action as to serve a notice to the community. We won't accept this. You take it's Black History Month. You take swift, immediate action. A Black woman is his boss. You come down and say, hey, look, we got to get you out of here until we figure this thing out. Sorry, bro. We have the power to do it. We don't do it. Oh, we need more information. We have to find out more information. 2 weeks later, what you need to find out? The man's hiding in his house. Be right back. Man, gotta be disciplined. Gotta be disciplined and run a morning show. Had the coffee going, had the breakfast potatoes down there cooking up with the onions. Y'all know how it is. All right, getting right back to it. Man, look at this. Look at this. Can you believe this? Look at this. Subscribe to my channel to get all the real deal. I'm gonna give it to you. X is gonna give it. Let me stop, but I'm just being. I'm gonna give it to y'all straight. If you want to Google my name, Taibu Mu'addib, just Google it. You'll see my book, African Messiah versus Government Scum. It's the last of 3 books in my social justice early series. I'm gonna be writing some more. I'm gonna have a coaching and speaking manual come out this month. Look for it right before my February webinar. Look for that. So I got a lot of stuff going on. But to be clear, this is how it starts for this principal, Eric Eiswart in Maryland. This is how it starts right here in our public schools. So when we integrated, that just brought us closer to being to what they envision for our society. So now they can handcuff us in schools and talk down to us and talk about they can you know, we say get off on us right there in the classroom. Now, raise your hand if you're a person of color, right? And you've experienced something culturally biased in a public school. Raise your hand. Be honest. Be honest. Raise your hand. If you've experienced some form of cultural bias and stereotyping in a classroom setting, raise your hand. All right. Get in the comment section and let me know. I have. You know, let's be real. This is happening. This is real. They don't even want to. After George Floyd, the guy, the ex-police officer, he went home and had it, you know, and was kicking it. It took him a while to go get him. And that's this principle. It's been 2 weeks since this story broke, since this recording, and they've done nothing. No punishment been handed down at all. Like they're finding a way to help the guy keep his job.
Timetable for when this investigation will be finished. She says that there has been counseling resources offered to students and staff here at Pikesville High School.
So the superintendent is saying that they're providing counseling for the people. Are you counseling the kids that he's been being, you know, stereotyping and being culturally biased towards since 1997? He's been this way the whole time. Don't act like y'all didn't know. Shoot. One thing that we all know is if you allow somebody to do something over time, they just become more and more bold. More and more bold. That's why he's caught on tape doing it. More and more bold. That's why he's caught on tape. That's why this principal in Maryland is caught on tape, because he's been in public schools since 1997, and people, you look at the Jeffrey Epstein joint, you look at presidents and the Prince of Wales, whatever, they're all trying to distance themselves from Jeffrey Epstein now that he's a known what? Yes, sexual offender. It's the same as this principal. How many people pat him on his back? Yeah, forget those others. Forget those people of color. He patted them on the back. So he just grew more and more bold. Now he's the principal of the school. Who gonna say something to him? What bothers me most, now I put my hand down, is that sister superintendent is soft coddling the situation. She didn't even seem pissed off when asked if he has been put on leave. Oh, I won't go there. She started stuttering. Go to my before statement. Get out of here. This is the craziest
Since that recording surfaced. Reporting live in Pikesville, Jessica Albert for WJZ.
When are we going to wake up? When are we going to wake up?
One sheet of bounty keeps working.
When are we going to wake up? So I'm not saying this is what it really comes down to, but if we get put into positions of power, if we earn a superintendent, if we're in a position of power and a European does something wrong, why are we all like this about dealing with it? We've been powerless for so long. Does that power come with the unspoken rule that if one of us do something, what's the sense? What's the sense? African people, black people, what's the sense? What's the sense in having a position of power in America if you have to treat Europeans the way Europeans treat Europeans when they do something wrong? What's the sense? We should have this discussion, man. I'm starting Black History Month off letting y'all know we not woke because they're still doing it. When we wake, there's 40 million of us. 40 million of us here. That means we can shut some stuff down. Wake up. Taibu Mu'addib this morning. Ridiculousness. So, to be clear, before I jump off here, YouTube, I just want to know TikTok wants to censor almost everything I was saying. But here's the bottom line. There's nothing right about any of this, especially the fact that African people are so codified that even when we have positions of power, we're afraid to act and move on Europeans that offend us and offend against our community. It's the craziest thing. Taibu Mu'addib. See you tomorrow, 8:05 in the morning. We talk about Megan Thee Stallion. Let's go. That's the show.